returned energy. Peace, y'all. Happy Sunday. Hey, y'all.
What's up?
Peace, everybody. Hope y'all having a beautiful weekend. So Kenny and I wanted to jump on and talk about our event, Love on the Mat, that is happening this Saturday coming, Saturday, April 8th at 4 p.m. We teach couples yoga individually. And this time we're opening up the couples yoga space to a group yoga space. And we just wanted to talk about why couples yoga, what couples yoga has done, and why we think it's an important way to use to deepen your intimacy and connection, and to build trust and communication in your relationship. So, can you want to say hi? You haven't said anything really.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Out there in Sohar land, and Instagram land. Hope everybody's well.
Right. So we both came to this relationship as yogis. So we already had that commonality when we came. But learning to create a yoga practice together was something that we definitely have learned to do over the years.
All right.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. I think we started simple, like sun salutations together, encouraging each other to practice yoga.
Morning yoga.
Yeah, morning yoga.
For work.
Yeah. And then in the last, I want to say 4 years, we've really gotten into tantric yoga and deepening our yoga practice in that way. And learning more acro yoga.
Yeah.
Come in.
It's definitely one of our foundations, of our relationship and love and friendship. We can meet on the mat, and it's a good way, especially on our Sundays, to get ready for the new week, but also to leave all that stuff that we don't need, and not bring it into the next week.
Yeah, our Sundays are our day to practice together. It has grown into that. I don't think we used to have a day. We just used to practice whenever we wanted.
Yeah.
And then Sunday kind of became the day because it's a day we both have that we wind down.
And our schedules changed because in the morning we were riding together. Yes,
we were riding together to work.
So we would do the yoga in the morning, and then it was just a daily thing. And we have learned to take advantage of the time we have, and no matter what the busy schedules that we have, and you running several businesses and your podcasts and your merchandise, and you know what I mean, it's a lot, but I think the creator for it all, but we meet on the mat and let it flow that way.
As a black man, what has yoga done for you?
Oh man, jeez, I mean, how much time y'all got? For me, my practice started as a healing of trauma.
Yeah.
And for me, I was having issues with just being in the moment and that things. That's what anxiety really, really is. So I was learning to deal with that, and for me, to take it a step further, I'm a naturist and I do new yoga too. But all of that coincides to just, for me stepping outside of myself. And
right, that's what your practice grew to. You didn't begin there.
Yeah, I didn't begin there because in the beginning, with the anxiety, I had fear of even going out and being that way and grounding that way. You know what I'm saying? So, for me as a black man, as a man, period, I just think that we have to do things, whether it's meditation, whether it's prayer or your religion, that you step outside of yourself. You know what I mean? That you can put the brakes on whatever's going on and look at things from a totally different thing and from a clear mindset. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we just don't take that time to say, okay, this is what I'm going through right now. And this is how I feel. And I need to step outside of this to understand why I'm feeling this way.
Right.
So
like
that's what it is.
growing your emotional intelligence.
Yeah, because...
So yoga helped you grow your emotional intelligence?
Big time. I said that the wrong way to get there, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I think finding a partner who was a yogi was literally not... I didn't know that was the on the list, but it definitely was on the list. As a Black woman, yoga has definitely helped me around body dysmorphia. There's definitely things that are being taught to us and said to us about our bodies all the time. And being able to be with myself in the practice of yoga allows me to have deep reverence for my body, allows me to see my body as something sacred and not feel like I have these worldly expectations that that I need to live up to in order to be valuable. It really takes away a lot of that background noise that circulates in the everywhere. Also, I find that it's helped me change and redirect the way that I communicate with myself and with others. You know, like I'm very thoughtful about what I say. I'm thoughtful about my tone. I'm thoughtful about how I interact. And I think that's a huge thing for our practice as a couple, because we both come from very tone deaf families. You know, they're not trying to harm you, but this is how they saying it, and it sounds harmful, right? Like the way that we're raised can be considered somewhat tone deaf. You know, like people are just more concerned about the message and not concerned about how it's impacting you, how their sounding impacts you. And we noted that early on in our relationship, that tone is a huge thing for both of us. Like if I have a tone, he'll be like, hey, calm it down, bring it down some, you know.
But not even that. You can step away from the situation and you can recognize, you know, you might have something going on.
Yes, I can.
And I'll just say, okay, let me let her, you know, figure it out. And when she's ready, if she asks or she wants my help or she wants an opinion, I'm here.
Right.
Because we're always coming from a place of love.
Right.
Straight from the gate. But
that has to be established, and that's a huge thing we had to establish early on in our partnership, is that, yes, I may sound harmful, but I'm saying this as lovingly as I can in this moment.
Yeah, because
and I'll work
right
on
getting
right. I'll work on learning how to say it better and approaching you better in the future, because I know that this is not something that you like, you know, that makes you feel well. And my optimal thing is for you to feel good in our interactions. You know, and now everything isn't going to feel good, but like for the most part, 85 to 90% of our interactions are good feeling interactions. You know?
Yeah. I was waiting for like somebody to ask a question or something. But I really dig what you said right there, because being able to step outside of the situation, the yoga meditation helps you quiet the mind.
Right.
Because so many things flood at you at one time. You know, even when somebody's could be worshiping, or even somebody could be doing things, I gotta pick the kids up. Things just fly into your mind. And you've been able to step and say, let me slow things down, let me clear things out, let me concentrate on my breath. Let me concentrate on putting mantras and good things inside of me right now, because that's what I need. I recognize that, because you can start your day out and say, it's going to be one of them days, and that's exactly what it's going to be.
It doesn't.
If you put the brakes on that and say, hold up, the peace I felt on that mat, I'm going to take with me outside this door, so no matter what comes up, somebody's in evil intention or negative intentions on me, that's going to be blocked.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to receive that in, because everybody's empathic.
Yeah.
And it's people that don't recognize that they
empathic.
have that. And then, why am I feeling this way? And when you can recognize those feelings, that these are coming from some place that might not even be me.
Right.
And say, hold on, hey, how you doing today?
Yeah.
You know, and see if you can, because sometimes that encouraging word is coming from you. You know, somebody coming, I noticed you always da-da-da. What's going on with that? Well, I do yoga. Or I did this. Or today I did this. And that can be, because for me, when I started, you know, which was many years ago, it wasn't a lot of black people doing yoga on Instagram. I didn't see it. And men, forget it. At all.
Right. It was really women.
So, yeah, it was like, and that's why I give Renee Watkins and some of those people that, this is before even DM, excuse me, that gave me encouraging words even back then, helped me keep going.
Right.
You know, I didn't never stagnate and think, okay, I can't do this.
Yeah.
You know, just because I didn't see a lot of people that look like me doing it. And that's still really the same case now. It's not a lot.
It's more.
It's more.
It has the space of yoga has opened up a lot, and there's a lot more black yogis than when I started. But you're right. There's not nearly as many black yogis as there are white yogis or other yogis.
Couples not either looking like us.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, I follow most of the ones that are.
Me too. It's like about 75 of them. No,
but there's something you said about when you talking and you're saying like when you go out into the world, and that piece also affords you peace. It affords how you talk to yourself to be peaceful. Like, you know, you change the way you interact with yourself. You change the way that you view yourself. You change the way that you hold yourself. And that negative self-talk tends to diminish when you start to take a break and or pause and say, hold up. I'm valuable, I'm worthy, I'm amazing, I deserve to be treated with love, I deserve to be cared about. I just did this beautiful practice for my body. How am I treating my mind? How am I treating my heart? How am I treating my spirit? Like,
am I loving me?
Right. Am I loving me? This practice is a practice that resonates throughout the emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual bodies. It's not a one-dimensional practice. It's a very diverse practice. Yeah. And I actually said this earlier. I was a guest on the podcast earlier, and I told them, I said, you know, I don't do yoga to convince people to do yoga. You know, I do yoga because I need to do it. But even when people are new to the practice of yoga, I tell them, because I didn't come to the practice of yoga with the intention of being a yogi. It happened.
Oh, man.
It happened. I came to the practice of yoga with other intentions.
Yeah.
Right? I tell them, come, take a yoga class. This might not be the thing for you.
Yeah.
But it's leading you to where you get to be.
Yeah.
Right? It's about being intentional with your life and opening the door, saying yes to yourself. Yeah. This is not about you becoming some person sitting on a mountain and meditating and elevating about
it's not about that.
Right, the yoga is about bringing you to fruition and fulfilling the other destinies that are for you. Before I came to the yoga practice, I was too afraid to fulfill my other destinies, and that's why I maintain my yoga practice, because it is the first thing that gave me the courage to dive into my life. It's the first thing that opened the door and said, you are worthy of living. You deserve to be here. You deserve to have love. You deserve to have abundant, beautiful, joyous, amazing, prosperous, divine life. Yeah. And I took a hold of that with both of my hands, and I ride it. I ride it like I never rode anything before, because it is for me. I deserve it. And it continues to instill that in me. When I don't feel deserving, or I feel a self-worth or self-doubt conversation, I always have my yoga practice to fall back on and to remind me, you've taken this far. You can take anything as far as you desire.
Yeah, because it's also a reminder how far you've come by doing those things every day. That's a lot of times, in the yoga practice, people are like, well, why are you doing the same moves? Because in a teaching aspect, it's somebody in that class who still hasn't got that pose down.
Yeah.
And for the person who got the pose down, who now that remembers when they couldn't do it, it's a reminder of both situations, from how far you've come and where you're going and where you've been.
It's a deepening.
Yeah, if that
right.
makes any sense.
Yeah, no,
So,
it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because when anything you doing, running, lifting weights, or nobody walks in the gym and picks up the heaviest thing or runs the furthest on the treadmill that first day. You had to say, okay, I'm going to try to do this first. I'm going to try to see how far I can run in 10 minutes. And it might have started out longer, and now you're quicker, because you stay with the dedication of getting better.
Right.
And that's what the yoga is.
Right. And it's a intrinsic value that I cannot tell you, honestly. I could describe to you all of these things that I've learned and gained. But the intrinsic value is huge. Someone said, back pain relief. What do you first? Kind reply, your yoga follow. Back pain relief. There's lots of yoga for back pain. My favorite go-to yoga pose for back pain is upward dog.
Upward dog,
cobra, yeah. There's tons of yoga is
forward fold,
yeah. There's lots of different practices, and yoga. When we say yoga, there's lots of different yoga practices. We're talking about something that's thousands of years old.
Different styles.
There's different styles of yoga. There's different lineages. That's what I'll say. Different lineages of yoga. The lineage that I practice most of the time when you see me on the mat is hatha or vinyasa. Vinyasa is the flow. It's hatha or what's the other one? Oh God, my brain is whacking.
Not yin.
I do practice a lot of yin yoga. But no, it's Ashtanga. Hatha or Ashtanga. Those are the two. I'm not sure what you need. I'm not understanding your question.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. So, so there's different styles of yoga. There's so many different practices that you can get into. It doesn't have to look the way that you see that is promoted. Instagram is kind of a app that kind of promotes niche things, and so if it gets a lot of information, it will spit out that same information to you. So you have to do some digging. Maybe you aren't a vinyasa person, which is like me, does a lot of flows, yoga poses back to back to back to back to back. Maybe you are a more yin yoga person who sits in a pose for 2 to 5 minutes over and over again. So you have to study the practice of yoga, or at least research it, so that you can find more information, because you'll have to dig through Instagram if you're going to use Instagram as a resource, because it literally just spits out what is most popular. If everyone wants to see people do handstands and headstands, that's what you're going to see. Or people contorting their body, that's what you're going to see. And that's what I see a lot of. And that is yoga, yes, but it is not the end-all be-all practice of yoga. Like, I don't get on my mat and think I want to do the best headstand in the world. I get on my mat and say I want to listen to my body. I want to trust my body. I want my body to trust me. I want to fall in love with myself. And that may look like me just sitting in one position. It might not look like me doing more than one position. So yoga is a very broad ideal, and there's a lot of principles to yoga. There's more than just the poses or the asanas. There's the meditation practice, the breath practice. There's the yamas. There's so much. So it's not just a one thing. But you will. Most people start at the asana practice because we are physical. Most people, that's where they live, in their physical body. So they do something physical, which is the asana practice.
Yeah, and people always they want to go straight to the top, and immediately, but start with breath work, and being able to clear your mind, starting a meditation, because that's going to help you with the patience it takes to stay with this, really.
Into Lex said, I've been healing my root chakra and I jump around. I've been gravitating to. So is there any more to that? But yes, honestly, yoga is really good for healing the chakras, or aligning them more is the word. Aligning them to your highest and greatest good, and to you tapping into, your best, most prosperous life. Much sitting like him sits, but flow and breath has been my friend. Like, okay, I get what you're saying. Yes, a lot of grounding work. You've been doing a lot of grounding work. Yes, and that is really healing for the root chakra. The root chakra is that chakra where a lot of us who have survival issues, who've lived in poverty, who worry about being successful, who worry about mattering on some level, or have deep depression over our lives and our existence. Yes. That root chakra is that thing. Like, you deserve to be here, and clearing out that energy, that lower energy, and addressing it through yoga is totally possible. Like, yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. Cool. Yeah. So for Love on the Mat, which is Saturday, April 8th, yes, we will be sharing yoga techniques for couples. We're really excited to be able to do this as a group. We've only been able to do these individually, like one-on-one with one other couple. And so expanding in this way is really what's next for us. And we're super excited. Let me make sure.
Somebody had questions about
grounding has been a struggle for me. Grounding. You ground a lot.
Yeah. I ground way ground. Well, like ground.
Yeah, he want to leave right now to go ground.
Yeah. But for me, putting your feet in the ground, our makeup is so similar to the universe and nature. Mm-hmm. So the grounding part is super duper important and ideal. So you just have to make up in your mind, whatever reason that is hard for you, maybe be your schedule that, at 10 o'clock or whatever this time, I'm putting my phone away, or whatever this is. I'm not taking no calls around this time, and I'm going to concentrate on me. Mm-hmm. And, journaling too, to find and write down the reasons why you think you can't settle your mind. And then deal with those feelings that you write down. I feel like this because, and then break it down and feel and understand why it's hard for you to quiet the mind, because that's really what it is. Really finding the time and really finding the time to have and bring yourself that peace. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Mind your mental property. Appreciate the compliment, the kind words. Grounding for me, it's literally just sitting still, just allowing stillness to be a part of my day, which is really hard for me because I'm super energetic and I like to move. So I kind of have to force myself on some level, not every day, but some days I do have to say, hey, at 9:30, like you said, pick a time. Yeah. At 9:30, I'm going to sit here for 10 minutes. No matter what's going on, I'm turning off the phone. I'm going to just sit here. And whatever comes up for me comes up. I put a time on and I sit there and I just sit. And I like to sit and look out the window. I like to look at nature. If I'm not sitting in nature grounding, I like to see that. So find something that will hold your attention but not divert your attention. Yes. Right? So that you can focus on, but it won't overtake your mind. You won't start thinking about that thing and it starts encompassing you. But yeah, that's a huge thing that I have to do for grounding. And also crystal, the singing bowls. And one of my other favorite things for grounding is the what do I have? The ocean drum. Sometimes if I need to move my hands because I'm a mover, I'll just get the singing bowls or the ocean drum and I'll use that as a grounding tool. Yes, you can put a nature sound on, as you said. You can put on any type of meditation sounds. Oh, he went and got the ocean drum. All right, so this is my ocean. You heard that? This is my ocean drum. And you hear it? So you hear that, right?
Yes.
That is that it just knocks all the thoughts out of my head. It's like if I'm having one of those real jittery days where I'm just like I got, because I was like one of them kids they used to call hyperactive. So I know that I have a lot of leftover energy, and I'll always be like that, and I'm okay with it. So I find other ways to invite peace into my space. Somebody said, "Did you openly come and Kenny?"
Yes.
They want to know, did you openly come into practice with me?
I was trying to find the other bowl.
Oh, the bowls are back next to the plant. It's okay. Come on.
Okay, what's the question?
Did you openly come into practice with me?
Openly.
Yeah, I mean, like I didn't ask him to practice. I met him like this, honestly.
That's an excellent question. People always like, well, how did you get him?
Everybody asks, do I make him practice with me, or he's doing it for me? I found him like this. He was practicing yoga longer. He's practiced yoga longer than me. He's like a 30-year yogi. I'm only like a 10-year yogi. He has 20 years of yoga on me. He's been practicing way longer than me. When we met, we both happened to be practicing at the same time, and so that became the foundation and a common connection that we had.
So it's and two, a lot of times when we do the couple sessions, it's always one person that might be a little reluctant, and we always find a way to make them feel comfortable being there too.
You talking about the other couples?
Yeah, the couples that we do.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's always...
You said couple sessions like us. Okay, we always do it.
Yeah, when we do the sessions, sometimes it might be a reluctant partner and say, well, I'm doing this, and that's male or man or woman. Mm-hmm. That doesn't really matter. But I think that, if you're in a situation where you love someone, and you are accepting the fact that you're going to be going into this journey with each other, people do that in other things. They find a way to get a common ground, especially
you
sex.
like to drink together, you like to go to concerts together.
But it's like you do these things without even trying.
Yeah.
A lot of times, I don't like this type of food, and I'm gonna try this and this and that, and people bend. I ain't gonna say, I don't use the word bend, but they compromise, and then they find out, damn, I like that too. Mm-hmm, I never been to a jazz concert, but damn, that was nice. Mm-hmm. So you're open to the experience, or you could be open to the experience of going someplace and having a terrible time. A place where we're not going to that restaurant anymore, but you find a way to still make it enjoyable. So I say that to say, because a lot of times when people see us on the mat, they thinking that it's one person being forced to be there. It was our commonality. Now, what we do is we make time to be on that mat.
Yeah, we have to make time.
We still have to make time,
even though we both do yoga.
It.
Yeah,
I could be doing it out in the woods. You could be doing it at home. Right. But we make sure that we do it together, and we meet together on that mat, because I know I've come to accept that all those other things, they add up to when you really want to connect with somebody in a real way. You can't just connect with somebody in the bedroom. And then when you guys, because you spend most of your time outside of the bedroom. I don't care, damn, how, porno stars or whatever. You spend a lot of your times outside of the bedroom.
Right.
So your commonality have to wiggle and
have to
mesh before you get there. And then all those other things make it more explosive at that time, because you can meet there as well. Right,
because you met so many other times throughout your interactions. But when you finally get there, then it's like
all
on
and
popping.
Right. Together.
Right.
You know what I mean? The breath work and a lot of stuff we get into in when we do the one-on-one, we always ask, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
It's about intimacy. It's about getting a good stretch. And it always leads back to intimacy.
Right.
No matter what somebody says or not. But all of those other things that we do, and so when you do come together, even if a common goal, we're going to start a business, we're going to do this. You're so used to you doing things right together, that no matter how big they are, you can just speak them and you can manifest them and say, let's do it.
Right, right. And we know each other's strengths, perceived.
Because it ain't about ego.
Right.
So the things that you're better at than me, I'm not going to say, no. I'm going to say, okay, explain to me how you got to this, because I want to get better at this as well.
Yeah.
So, right on.
Yeah. And yoga, definitely being the foundation, has helped us learn how to maneuver all of these conversations. It's helped us learn how to have insight into wanting to create a partnership that is mutually beneficial, not just lopsided, so, and it continues to help us to do that, because it makes you be honest, like about what's working and what's not working anymore. Something that may have gotten you to a point may have worked up into that point. And that's the wonderful thing about yoga, because there's a lot of things you learn in yoga. There's like, you might learn how to get into a asana one way, and then you see somebody else do it and you try, like, damn, I was trying it that way the whole time. And I could have did, and so you learned something and you're willing to switch it around. And that's the same thing we apply in this space. If he may have been doing something the whole time, and then I say, you know what, I'll do it, and they'd be like, whoa, you know what, that really relieved a lot of pressure. I didn't know what I was holding on to that for. Thank you for taking that on, because now I have time to do X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? It really helps you learn how to maneuver and how to create true partnership.
Yeah, you want to do things that make you present your best self, and that becomes things separate from a couple. So when you meet, so you're not, it's no guesswork a lot of the times, and it's no, I'm not bringing any unnecessary baggage from being in DC traffic and bringing that home, and somebody cut me off and I'm coming to the house, how's the day? Terrible. No, I'm not bringing any of that stuff.
Journey to Antoinette. Hey, sweetie. Hey. She said it changes daily. The needs can change at any point. So to have that flexibility and hold space for said changes definitely helps. It really does. Yes. It really does help, sis. You right on. Yeah. And like you said, like, it helps you evaluate, your space, and make sure that, you manage your needs prior to showing up in this house. Yeah,
because you don't want
after you've been working all day and changing the dynamics of what I have going on in here.
Yeah, I don't want to bring any negativity or any bad energy home or carry it with me home. So, being able to say, okay, yoga and all this stuff, deep breathing, is all preparatory. Is that the right word?
It could be. I don't know where you're going.
So when things do arise,
oh yes, that's the right word,
you can shut them right down.
Right.
You're not waiting to, sometimes people say, I'm scared to catch a cold.
Come over here.
Then they start taking all this medicine. But if you put good things in your body
prior to that, it's like, okay, I felt bad yesterday, but it's gone. So all of this stuff is just building, and I don't know, building, I don't want to say muscle or whatever, but it's muscle memory. Yeah. And that's literally exactly what you're saying, why I practice so much.
Yeah.
I practice so much. So on the days, because there are days
you can't
when I can't. Right. It's like a reserve, like a well, like a cup. Like my cup is so full, I can go a day, I can go a week, I can go a month, because I put so much into myself that I have a reserve. You know what I mean? And it's really like when people say, like, it's kind of like when you think about the aspect of giving, you should be giving to yourself so much that your cup is overflowing, and that people are only getting the overflow. And that's how I treat yoga. Like, I'm giving myself so much love, so much peace. So I'm interacting with myself so much through my yoga practice that when somebody needs something from me, I don't have resentment, I don't have anger, I don't have frustration, I don't have judgment. Right? I'm not scared to commit, because I've committed to myself so deeply that I have the space to commit or to be honest about my desire to not commit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm aware of myself in a huge way, and that having that practice with your partner, like he tells me no all the time. Not all the time, but a lot of the time.
Most of the time, no.
Not all the time, but he does. He tells me, "No, I ain't doing that shit. No, you should have asked earlier." You know, and
then I end up doing it anyway.
Yeah, but I don't.
No.
you might sometimes, but I don't fall back on old behaviors of manipulation. If you tell me no, it's no. Thanks.
But even
I'll go
then, sometimes with the no, you know, I have to step outside and say, okay, why am I really saying no? When I know when I finish, I'm going to be like, glad I did.
You got something on your eye. I'm sorry. I'm like a. I'm sorry.
We're back.
Right.
Both eyes clean.
But yes, being able to be in a position where you understand that your partner doesn't have to give you every fucking thing. It's not why you have a partnership. You're not supposed to get everything from this other person. You're supposed to be able to give yourself everything you want. If they want to share their stuff with you, great. That's awesome. It's a beautiful thing.
That's you jumping in really in there now because you know you're talking about loving straight from a pure place.
Yeah.
You love because you love love.
I love because I love. Yeah.
Because you're expecting something in return.
Right.
So it's like, I'm going to do this and I brought all this stuff home and I'm expecting next time I ask for something to get it.
Right.
No,
it's not a prepayment. Right.
You hold the door open for somebody because that's what you do.
Right.
And if they walk by and don't say thank you, you know, you can't get in your feelings.
Right.
Because you presented that energy of just, this is what I do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it happens a lot of times. People walk by and because they're in their own mind.
Yeah, and they don't probably when you have nothing to do with you.
Yeah, they're already like going, they're carrying around something that they're not happy with.
Yeah.
And it's like they can't even take acts of kindness because they're so locked into what's going on with them. So you love, and you talking about something super subject here because you go, this is real good because yeah, man, I'm saying I'm trying to get it together here. Loving from a pure place. You talking about magic, and you talking about the mushroom cloud and all that stuff. That's how you get that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's almost like combining two big forces. Instead of you loving from, okay, I'm gonna bring flowers home because I hope she'll do this. Nah, you doing that because you just want to say, dang, I know she loves flowers and I love giving flowers. Not that you're doing it to doing that. And we both love flowers.
Yes, we do.
But that's why I use that example. But yeah, you talking about something real big right there.
No, we do.
You're talking about loving real. That's a big time subject. It is because it's.
No, but it's a skill to develop, and yoga is definitely helps you develop that deep love for yourself and that deep reverence for yourself, understanding how sacred you are, and then when you extend that to someone else, understanding that you're inviting them into your sacredness, and that they therefore must value themselves as sacred, right? So there's a lot of growth around understanding. This is a way more vast conversation than this. But it's something we have to learn. And the only way I learned that is to unlearn all the other ways that I thought love was supposed to be. All the other ways that I thought love was, I had to chuck them. I had to throw them out because they were not working for me. In alignment with where you because when you're talking about healing is where you're really going to get into those avenues. Because when you're healing, it's you. Right. It's you having the negative thoughts, it's you having the good feelings. And when you decide to say, I'm gonna make these steps towards healing, it's nobody can do anything. You know, people can listen, and you can get a counselor, and she can maybe give you some skills, tools to get your stuff together. But it's you have to do that. Right. You have to say tomorrow. You know, she might say, write down 3 things you love about yourself. And there's people that will struggle to do that. Oh yes. You know what I mean? What do you love about yourself? People are like, I don't know.
You know, do you love yourself more? Do you love me? You know, people can't answer those questions sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, and people, and it's so much. You know, this world will really, really get you in that place.
No, it's a lot of undoing, and it's a lot of relearning your partner. No, you're good. It's a lot of relearning your partner. When you take on a practice like yoga as a couple, you're relearning this person. We all come into this world with contracts. When we started dating, there was a contract.
Yeah.
Right? But when we got married, that was a different contract. Yeah. When we had a child, that was a different contract. Every time we decided to take on a new responsibility with each other, we changed our contract. And we had to both talk to each other about how that contract looked. What does that look like? What are your responsibilities in this contract? What are my responsibilities in this contract? How are we going to make this work mutually for both of us, right? Because we're a team, and everybody wins when the team wins, right? Yes, the term of the contract changed, honey. I'm big on a contract, honey. Don't play with me.
Yeah, because each instance you have to go deeper into yourself.
Right,
like,
right.
You go to work, I'm a father now.
Yes.
You know, you start thinking, well, I got to tell it. You know, y'all. I'm a father now. Or you think, I'm this now. Or I'm doing this. Or we just bought a house.
Yeah.
You know, you say those things aloud, knowing that you have to start some decisions that you have to make that are different
right,
now.
That are different. What got you here cannot keep you here.
Because the decisions you
have
making
to change.
includes more people now.
You have to be willing to grow. Yeah. What got us to this point will maybe sustain us if we want to stay exactly where we are. But if we have any aspirations that are broader or deeper than where we are, we need to be willing to readjust our contract. We need to be willing to readjust the contract. If I wanted to stay surface level and just have a husband, then that's what I would have. Yeah. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. Being back in new mom. Oh, yes, you did just have a baby, dad mode. And hubby been talking about this. Being parents of 2 is different, yes, than the new space of being with 3. Yes. Yes. Every new iteration of you deserves a new dedication, a new commitment, a new mission statement. Yeah. Like as you would say, like you wouldn't start a business and not know what was the point of the business. So every time you change, you are changing your. I hate to compare marriage to a business. I know a lot of people do that, but you are in a sense changing the declaration of the vision that you had together every time you do something new.
The contract is spiritual too.
Yeah, the contract is spiritual. Get it, sexy.
Yeah. No, the contract is spiritual. Go ahead. The contract is spiritual. That's the bigger part.
Oh, but see, and that's the other thing. We've done a lot of spiritual work together. That is not that, yoga, it has a spiritual base, but we've done a lot of non-yoga based spiritual work together that has gotten us to this point and has sustained us as well. And so that's another thing. You have to decide, what is this all going to be? What do I want? Right? And every time I learn something new about myself, after I tell me, I tell him. Yeah. I just learned this about myself. Now I want to share it with you because this is not information that you had. And if I don't share this information with you, you're going to be operating on an old program. And that program is null and void. It does not exist
because
anymore.
Your frequency could be different.
It's going to be different. I've changed. I've grown. I've moved on. I have a new possibility. I have a new way of seeing things. And I'm going to share it with you because not because I want you to think like me, but I want you to know where I'm at.
Recognize the differences.
Yeah. Yeah, so you won't be like, oh, what's going on with you? You changed.
Never do that.
Right. You ain't never do that before. Of course I wouldn't. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, as a partnership, my biggest thing is, where's the growth? Right? Where's the growth? How are we helping each other grow exponentially? Yeah. Not, like, what's new for you this year? Yeah. How can I help you manifest that? Who do I get to be in service to you to make sure that you have the space that you need to create that for yourself?
Yeah, because even as our beautiful sister said a couple of seconds ago, she's a mother of 3.
Yes, went from a mother of 2 to a mother of 3.
The 2 gets you the experience of saying, okay, we've been down this road, but then it's a new personality.
Yes.
So then it's like the experience will get there, but everybody, just like the babies is different.
Right, how we all interacting with this new person.
And the babies are fresh from the source. So you never know. You know what I mean? What you gonna get. So yeah, I appreciate that. That was great.
All right, y'all. I guess we get to do more lives.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Right here.
All right. So if you want to join us and hang out with us for Love on the Mat this Saturday, the link is in my bio. You know what I mean? And if you want to just do a one-on-one individuals couple session with us and you don't want to be in a group, you want some privacy, the link is also in my bio. Yes. And if you want to join just me as a yoga teacher every day, Monday through Saturday, except for Sundays, every day except Sunday, I teach individual yoga. And I do trauma wellness coaching as well. So, what you saw, what I meant. Nice. Awesome. So, if you guys want to hang out with us, hit the link in the bio. Yeah. We appreciate y'all for hanging out with us this Sunday. You got anything you want to say, babe?
No, I just really enjoyed, talking about this and sometimes hearing the stuff out loud.
Look at your smile.
Yeah, it makes you like even more like you want to get back down to the mat right now.
We need to get to the mat for content.
Right on. But yeah,
that's the other thing. We need to talk about realistically managing a business and creating content as a couple because it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, it's a struggle. It's a struggle sometimes because of course your end game is. You want legacy, and you want to make sure everything we do is for the betterment of us, but also to make sure our kids are straight as well. But yeah.
So we'll come back and talk about that because
yeah,
I know that's a huge deal for a lot of people. And I
love conversation. I'm really, really feeling
we'll come back and talk about that, okay?
Yeah, because that's going to make the world a better place.
All right. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all next time. Next time I'll make sure I post that we're going to get live. I put it in the story so that not as many people probably saw it, but I'll get better at that. It's not one of my favorite things to do, but I'll get better at it.
And if anybody had a question they didn't want to put on here, how can they do that?
They can inbox me. You can inbox me or email me at zoha@zohameanslight.com. The email is in my bio. Also, if you want to follow Kenny, you like seeing naked men in the woods doing yoga.
They might not be ready for that. We're going to stick right here. It might be too much out there.
That's his thing.
No, that's my thing, but yeah.
His page is at a.natural.state.
Yeah, that's the
like STATE. Yeah. If you wanna and trust me, he will vet people because he don't let just anybody in his space. Unlike me.
It is some people who get into all this for different reasons.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good Sunday. We're gonna try to create some content. I don't know.
Yeah. Go for it. See you guys next time.
All right. Peace, y'all. Peace. Bye.